So another new movie came out.
Let's talk about it.
I'm Xan.
I'm Greta.
Konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And welcome to another Spiraken movie review where we talk about new and old movies. And this is one we haven't done in a while, so it's been a while since we've done this podcast, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yep, and also, ironically, this is the first film we've seen in theaters this year, even though there were a lot of new movies that came out that we did see, but we saw them through streaming and all these other fun things because they're slowly getting rid of movie theater stuff, even though we did buy some really cool stuff for movie theaters, which we really have to use.
But it was really fun getting back to the theater.
It was, and especially for this film, which was literally an experience. I'd say it was breathtaking. What about you?
I want to say that it was amazing, but I feel like that's a cop-out, but it was really like awe-inspiring.
It was awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
And well, the movie we're talking about, well, let's get to the basics behind it, is going to be Project Hail Mary, which is based off the book by Andy Weir, and we reviewed all the way back in December, so many months ago. If you want to check out that review, you can look at the link right above your head. But before we get into talking about it, let's actually get a little recap, and let's watch the trailer for it. Ooh.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment.
Yeah, it is visually stunning, and I like that it's a primarily, except for the background, it's Ryan Gosling carrying this entire movie.
And it's not like stationary. It does pop around.
They should not have shown this early.
Oh,
That spoils
it
a
didn't
lot.
spoil it for me. I think it spoiled it for you because you read the book.
It spoils a lot.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
It does. It does. It's a big twist in the movie.
I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying.
And
Every star was infected by its snake.
Every star is affected by it.
Yeah. And they do streamline the science and all stuff really fast in this. But
I thought there was just the right amount of science.
there is. And also you could buy him as a scientist in this, surprisingly, even though he is pretty much like ripped and pretty boy instead of being a very awkward scientist.
I don't know. I feel like I had like a teacher at one point that was like way smarter than they should have been and younger than I thought they were, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but he's like very like not quirky, like he's like there's no reason no one like everyone would have been after him. It's Ryan
He's not
Gosling.
quirky. He's riding a bike, not by choice.
That scene they did good work, and it's a lot of what stuff going on this, so that's great, well done. But with that, let's go to it actually, because we're probably gonna get in trouble for licensing and copyright because of that. But yeah, so this is Project Hail Mary. It was directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They did Clone High, the Lego Movie, and the Spider-Verse film. So they're kind of a really good. They're very good directors. They did a lot of animated films, and this is one of their more serious films they've ever done.
And they did it very well. Like, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, no, this was a true film to watch. This is a film-going experience. You go to see this film. And from certain videos you've seen of this, they actually explain that they've made versions for every single type of film you go to. They're slightly different. So the audio is perfect for if you're going to watch it in IMAX or 4DX. For visually, if you're going to see it in the Regals, the RDX.
But regardless of how you're seeing it, they set it up perfectly for the theater that you're going to. So they really made it for movie theaters. I think it's going to be as impactful if you watch it at home, but it's just not going to have the same like.
It's not. And anyway, regardless, we're talking a little too much about the movie theater experience. So let's actually get to what the movie's about, because this is Ryan Gosling wakes up with no memory of who he is, with a tube down his throat, with a catheter in him, and a robot who's asking him, what is 2 + 2? And he's just like, well, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And this is where we open up, and he's on a spaceship, and eventually we piece together with who we found out his name is Ryland Grace, what is going on. There's also 2 dead bodies on the ship with him as well, which is
Not like gory, like they were in the same, coma like state, but they didn't make it.
And we don't know how long they've been dead for. We could assume it's been years because honestly, he was in.
He had a long beard. Like, how long does it take to grow your beard and like your hair down that long?
I think in the book they give it's like 5 years he's in a coma. I think, but there's enough food for him to survive, kind of. But
It's in. They scoot over a lot of the little nuancy moments of that. They show things like little green petri dish things that are growing little tiny plants. So there's some kind of like system in place for food and whatnot, but
they kind of all the things that were explained in the book, they kind of just like, okay, we're gonna just speed this up really fast. So instead of it being like he's spending 3 weeks trying to relearn how to walk, relearn how to talk, get out of the room, it's one day he's perfectly fine, he's not atrophied, ta-da, let's go, let's start the movie up, which kind of fits. But pretty much what happens is, as you saw in the trailer, we found out that there's a thing called the portrayal line, which is in going from Venus to the sun. And what's happening is that whatever is in the portrayal line is eating the sun.
or it goes from the sun to Venus.
Yep, it goes sun to Venus, but it's
Yeah.
eating the sun and it's cooling it down. And if it goes down enough, we're all dead. And this is happening to every single star in the universe.
Except for
One. In Tau, which is about 11 light years away. Which is
really, really far.
but through some reasons which we're not going to spoil, they figure out a way to kind of not FTL, but they're able to go really, really fast.
But I think that they did it in a really great way. I didn't feel like they were dumbing it down for me. I didn't feel like it was flying over my head and they were making stuff up. Like, I felt like, oh, I can get it. I'm buying this. I understand.
I think it's when they showed what the astrophage can do to a steel box that like how like so this stuff is very powerful. Just a milligram of this could destroy an entire city.
But it was interesting.
Yeah, and so he's going to save the world, and it's just Ryan Gosling in space with this until when he gets there, there's someone else waiting for him. Well, kind of.
Okay, so no spoilers, but there's a really cute scene where we see our spaceship, right? And it's moving around and he's by himself, and then the other spaceship like shows up, and then he moves, and then that spaceship moves, and then he like goes away from it, and that spaceship comes over to it. And it's really kind of cute, like the way that they make contact. And
because he's freaking out, like, no, go away, and it's
like,
like following him, like he moves forward a bit, he moves forward, but
he spins around, he spins around. It was like, it's cute.
It's cute. And
I feel like it sets the tone for their little.
It does. It sets the
friendship.
tone for their very unusual friendship that they have for the two characters who, if you see the new trailer, you do know his name is Rocky. That's all we're going to say about him because he's a very interesting practical effect.
I really liked it.
Rocky is well done. But yeah, so besides all the scenes that are happening in the present, we do have the past happening because he's remembering over time. And it slowly changes his opinion on what's going on as he is trying to figure this out. Because at one point he's like, "How do I know what that is?" He's like, "It's like there's a 3D ultra microscope there. Wait, how do I know that?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's just building up. Okay, I'm this, I'm that, and then we find out as it's built on what happened, how he gets there, and then any major issue that happens, which kind of messes things up or makes things better.
But he's very solution oriented. I mean, like, give him some duct tape and petri dishes, and he can
He's
like
a
figure things out.
He's
like,
a scientist. Like, there's a lot of math in the book that they cut out, and it's like the math. I'm like, because that's the one thing he is really good at is math. I'm like, I don't understand how to calculate that, and it's just. But regardless, he does an amazing job. And then we have some of the other actors involved. We have Sandra Hüller as Ava Stratt. She is a lady from Eastern Europe who is in charge of Project Hail Mary, which essentially they have unlimited funding because...
And I buy her as being in charge of this program. I thought she did a great job.
And they do have the fact that in the book that she is referenced as a cold stone bitch. And you see her like, yeah, she's cold stone. And the other person she kind of is nice to, which everyone calls her his pet, is Grace, is Ryland Grace, because it's, there's more going on.
But she's very blunt. I don't think she was like mean or vindictive at all. She was just very, blunt, matter of fact, no emotion. No emotion whatsoever.
But it's also she's being a realist about the situation. She's like, we are going to die. This is going to be bad. And if they had this, there's a scene in the book that was cut out, which is where she acknowledges that some of the things they're doing are essentially war crimes, and it's like, I'm probably gonna go to jail for half the stuff we're doing.
But if you don't do it, the world's going to die anyway.
Yeah, and she brings up like, and these things are gonna happen, and regardless, if everyone works together and shares, and that's not gonna happen because we're the human race. We're not the nicest people, and he's dealing with that. And she does a great job selling as this, but the main person who sells the best is gonna be James Ortiz, who is doing the mocap and the voice for Rocky, and it is
Adorable.
very different because this is not your standard carbon-based life form, looks like a human and just talking like a human alien. It's something different, something unique.
And I don't think they like skip over it too much. They do streamline it really quickly, but when they're figuring out each other's language and finding a way to communicate with each other, that process was really good. You can tell that it takes some time. And I feel like it marked time by saying, okay, well, we have,
286 words.
right. It's
You
like,
know?
oh, wow, that took a minute. You got there.
And eventually, and he points out like later on, he's like, I'll need the computer to translate as much, but I just need to just get the nuances down.
Yeah.
And it's a really well done idea for the alien, and more importantly, the fact that it's something which is different. It uses Xenonite.
I also think that it's really cool that it's not terrifying. Where sometimes there's those outer space movies where the alien looks really scary, but they're nice, and or they look really sweet, and then they like eat somebody 3 times their size. Like this is cute.
Like most Doctor Who episodes.
Yes, very much so.
This is very different. And James Ortiz gives him such an interesting character, and he's also the voice of the translation program, which it's very funny because they use all the fun little jokes and statements that it's made, because it is literally not a full language, so there are parts missing, words missing, and it's like amaze, 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 amaze instead of amazing, or bump my fist.
Yeah, instead of fist bump.
But I will say this, and this is a slight spoiler from the book: they do not use the greatest line of it involving a giant space monster and a leaky space blob.
But they do have, while they're trying to pick a voice for Rocky, for the computer to translate it through, they do stumble over Meryl Streep, which is just so cute. And I just love her in the roles that she plays. And Ryan Gosling's character, Grace, stops and he just goes, wow, she really can do anything.
Which is great. And then they also have a scene with the voices, an Easter egg for those of you who are not familiar with the audiobook. Ray Porter, the voice for the Project Hail Mary audiobook, does the voice, and you just see Rocky and Grace looking up, which is really funny. But overall, besides the acting, the story itself, the visuals are stunning. You could buy that this ship works, and well, they explain how the ship works. It's a centrifuge, but how the ship flies, how the ship deals with the different planets. Seeing some of the different planets that we do see, also some of the more disturbing parts, like doing a spacewalk while you're in Atmo and the ship is on fire.
I also think it was really nice how they've integrated AI to the ship. Like the ship is helpful, and
Unlike ChatGPT,
which is why they could have run the ship with 3 people, but he's doing okay running the ship just by himself. Like the technology that they put into it, like I also buy that, like it's believable.
it is. It's a lot more
I'm delusional. It's either very believable or I'm
Well, it's better than something
gullible.
like HAL 2000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, or some of the other
or
computers
Iron Man's stuff.
like Jarvis. Well,
Yeah.
it's not Jarvis. Jarvis would be able to fly that thing no problem. But we're thinking more.
And they would have come like there and back.
The there and back was the big issue because.
But if it was Jarvis, they would have like black holed it back
This is true.
and been like, oh, in 48 hours we'll be back from this project.
This is true, but that's not the case here, and it was well done because it is a story which is a full set story. There is no need for a sequel. It is a here's point A, here's point B. It does leave a little bit of a not cliffhanger, but something else.
I felt that it was a long movie,
It doesn't feel long though.
but it doesn't feel long. It feels well paced. It doesn't feel boring or lonely, even though it's just like a lot of it is just him by himself. I also didn't feel like I was breathless. Sometimes in these outer space movies, I feel like I'm holding my breath, like there's not enough oxygen. I'm really concerned about that. But I didn't have that anxiety. It was really well done. There's some thrilling moments that are in this. By all means, you're not falling asleep, but I thought it was really well done.
No, it was. And also scarier than that is I do like that we do have that he's not a perfect. I'm the manliest man. I'm gonna jump out of the pod bay and I'll be fine. It's like the first time he goes to go out on a spacewalk,
He's like, nope.
he just looks down. Nope. And then later on, it's when something he's like, I can do this, I can do this, and then no, it's circumventing completely. He's like, what?
And I like the dialogue. I mean, it's clear that if you're by yourself for this long period of time that you need to speak to yourself. We all learned that in Castaway, right? But I like his monologue with himself, like, oh, they think I'm stupid. And you're like, yep, that's exactly what happened. Like you're self-deprecating in a very positive way.
Yep, and it does
Kinda
feel
laugh.
very much like The Martian, where The Martian he has audio diaries as opposed to he's thinking it out loud, which I like that they added the audio diary element to it. And visually, they capture it well. All the scenes are done well. The visuals are great. The soundtrack is very minimalist, and I do like that you have these moments of silence.
Yeah.
And the silence affected so well. Like when something really bad happens, you just see screaming and just
Yep.
you feel it. You feel it. There's more we could say about this, but overall, let's actually get to our rating. So for me personally, I'm going to have to give this our highest rating of essential viewing. Really watch it now. This is a breathtaking Oscar-worthy adaptation that honors the book while blazing its own stellar path because it does something different. And I do like that fact. There are some things I wish were kept in the book, but overall, this is a visually stunning film. Now, on the other hand, your rating was?
Or from a friend. I thought it was really, really great. And honestly, I wasn't super excited about this. Like, hey, let's go watch Project Hail Mary. It's set in space. And it was heartwarming, visually stunning. All of that's super true. I really, really liked it. I just am not sure it deserves the top rating.
Well, it's a good point because Bar for Friends was second highest. And I agree, it's a hard film, but it is a good film. I think it's one of the better sci-fi films. It's something different, and even though it is based off of a book, I liked it.
I'm not going to be surprised if like 6-7 months from now, when we're looking at more movies, I come back and want to change my rating to a higher rating. But
Yeah,
I felt like this was a great.
I think
movie.
this is going to get nominated for best film. I honestly do, and I think he's going to get nominated for best actor. I honestly think that.
Yes.
And if it's not, you're freaking crazy because this is Interstellar good. Well, actually, Interstellar, I think this is better than Interstellar, honestly, because Interstellar gets a little bit more like less science based, more time travel based, but I like this one a lot.
Yes.
And that's my thought. And but I think that's it for this episode. Anyway,
I think you should all go watch it
definitely go watch it. Let us know your thoughts.
in theaters.
Leave
Watch
comments
it in theaters.
down below. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification for these new episodes. Leave us your comments down below if you like this, didn't like this. Let me know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. And as usual, I'm Xan.
I'm Greta.
We're Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And as always, keep watching movies. We'll see you later.